Hello everybody and welcome back to Awful Commentary. So today we're just going to do a short video of kind of like a bit of a reflection on our season as a whole and how we've been getting on. So I thought we'd first look here at our end of season awards. So actually the fans' player of the season was Phil Jones with 43% of the votes. Goal of the season was from Paul Pogba. For let's take a look at this beauty over here when it loads for us. Played out to Danilo on the wing. Boom! A Paul Pogba strike there. So that was voted goal of the season for us. And signing of the season, Mayor, because it's pretty much the only signing we made. And young player of the season, Marcus Rashford. And this is what they say is our team of the season. So De Gea, Shaw, Smalling, Bailly, Danilo. Which is, I would probably agree with that. Herrera and Pogba in midfield, definitely. Martial, Mata and Mkhitaryan, yep, definitely. And actually, you put Marcus Rashford up front instead of Ibrahimovic. Interesting that despite being the fans' player of the season, Phil Jones doesn't make it into the team of the season, which is quite interesting there. But Zlatan was our top goal scorer, but still Rashford is here. Eric Bailly actually had the best average rating for us. Mkhitaryan got the most assists. Herrera had the best passing. Chris Smalling had the most man of the match awards, and Phil Jones had the most yellows. So you can kind of see why Bailly and Smalling are here. Smalling with the most player of the matches, and Bailly with the best average rating. Zlatan though not making it, which is going to be interesting next season to try and balance between Rashford and Zlatan there. And let's see if I can find one. That's Schneiderlin also. So Schneiderlin wants to leave. Rooney also wants to leave, I think. But we'll have a look at those squad problems in a minute. Just want to see if I can find... let's go to competitions. Let's have a look at the Premier League then. Let's just have a look at where are the award winners here. So we don't want Team of the Week. Do we have anybody in Team of the Week? No, we don't. But what else have we got? So the Golden Glove. So Mignolet won the Golden Glove. De Gea was third in that one there. So actually, they were actually tied. 17 clean sheets each. De Gea was one behind on 16 clean sheets, which was very unfortunate. The last United winner was Edwin van der Sar back in 08-09. So not bad season for De Gea there. But yeah, I definitely feel we could have done a little bit better defensively. Conceded 32 goals, only conceded 24, but I'm pretty sure he didn't play appearances 31. There you go. So De Gea's got 4 more appearances than old Simon Mignolet here, but he did concede 8 more goals, so I guess that probably balances it out fairly. Footballer of the Year, Harry Kane. Oh, okay. Fine, Harry Kane. No second or third. Goal of the month. Okay, I don't care about goal of the season. It was apparently Wayne Routledge. Can't remember that coming up. Manager of the month. But Manager of the year. Bum 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 bum. With my great white face over there. So yes, we won Manager of the season. So the last time was Alex Ferguson in 12-13. But yeah, that is a good win. I liking that. 71% win ratio, not bad. We definitely did a pretty amazing job at turning our season around at the end. Let's see if we got Players Player of the Year. Sergio Aguero. Probably not surprising there. Let's see. Players Team of the Year. Pogba and Phil Jones. Which is pretty interesting. Phil Jones didn't make it into our Man United Team of the Year or Team of the Season. But he's made it into the Premier League Team of the Season, which is quite interesting. I'm surprised that... he's been picked over either Smalling or Bailly, considering their better ratings. But, excuse me, we've got Pogba in there, representing as well, which is not bad. Young player of the season again, Harry Kane, winning it again after getting it in 2014. Tottenham, just dominating recently. Sorry, it's a bit cold in here, I'm kind of shivering. Dominating the Young Player Awards of late, going back Kyle Walker, Gareth Bale, only Eden Hazard at Chelsea breaking up that. And let's see, top goal scorer in the league. Yeah, we didn't really do very well here. So Sergio Aguero, Harry Kane, not surprising, and Charlie Austin of Southampton actually getting in on the action. Let's take a look. Finishing 16, work rate 16. Pretty solid orange stats everywhere for this guy. But how old is he? 27. So, yeah, good going. Well done, Southampton and Charlie Austin. So I think, young player of the month. Don't care about that. So that's pretty good. So let's have a quick look at how everybody finished in the end then. So we finished top, obviously, 1 point above Tottenham, who then finished 4 points above City and Liverpool, who were just separated on goal difference by 4. City actually finishing with the best goal difference in the league by the looks of it. And actually, we come to finish with the second best goal difference in the league, tying City for the most dominant scoring side in the league. We didn't do as well as Liverpool, though. They only conceded 30 goals, which was pretty incredible. We conceded 39. So, rounding off the top 4 there is Liverpool, and then Arsenal, as you would expect. Arsenal, Chelsea and Watford, 5th, 6th and 7th. An incredibly competitive season, as you might imagine, but a pretty huge gap between Arsenal and Chelsea. They really dropped off, so kind of to come back and have their FA Cup win against us, that was kind of their saving grace for their season, really, because 6th being 23 points off the top, that is not a good season for Chelsea. For Watford, however, that is an amazing season. Then we've got, rounding up the top half of the league, got Sunderland, Southampton and Swansea. And who got relegated? Middlesbrough, Hull and Bournemouth. I don't think there are really any great shocks there. Leicester, reigning champions, finishing 12th. Not a good season for Everton as well, all the way down in 13th. But, yeah, I think that's a pretty believable season, all in all, really, considering. Let's have a look at the team overview. Best at hitting the target was Swansea. Man City and us were joint at the most goals scored. Most crosses completed, West Ham. Highest headers, Middlesbrough. But, I mean, not good enough to keep you in the league, though, is it? Most passes completed, Man City, we're 5th. So we're not kind of topping any of the stats in any of these, despite kind of winning the league. With 3rd average possession, kind of 5th passing, most fouls made, we don't really want to be there. Oh, we're 2nd for the most tackles, so I guess that's good. 4th for the most clean sheets. 4th for most conceded. We finished with 2nd in the form table, obviously highest average attendance. Games without conceding. Average possession, yeah, we're 3rd. Let's see what else. Team details. I don't really want to go into all of the nitty gritty. Let's look at player overview then. Best at hitting the target was David Silva and Mkhitaryan, actually. Wow, I'm a bit surprised about that. I didn't think he was doing quite that well. So let's see, did we get... Ooh, I thought Zlatan had done better in the league than Rashford. But no, 18 goals in the league for Rashford. Still only 6th overall, though. Key passes? Nowhere to be seen. Callum Wilson relegated with Bournemouth, but providing the key passes, probably with some of that pace. Let's see, nowhere to be seen. Most assists? Nowhere. Most dribbles? Nowhere. No one's dribbling for us. Let's see, distance covered. No, we're not running very far. Tackles? No, so we're not. Most key tackles. Phil Jones, there he is, down in joint 7th place. Most clean sheets, okay, we've got De Gea in 3rd. Least conceded, De Gea in 3rd again. So, let's see, average, but Phil Jones actually has the highest average rating in the league, which is quite interesting as well. And, but team goals, apart from that, games when De Gea has won the most games. So apart from De Gea and some of our other players, not really much to shout about, to be honest. So let's have a quick look at our squad then. Let's go. What can we hit? Selection info. Okay, so who's been bagging the goals? Zlatan got 22 goals for us. Rashford got 20. Mkhitaryan actually 3rd with 13, followed by Martial with 11, Pogba on 9, and Mata with 8. Mayer actually picking up 6 goals, as did Depay, as did Chris Smalling, as did Rooney of 5. I like that we've got a really balanced spread of goal scorers in our team, along with assists. Almost everybody in the team has provided an assist. Even goddamn David De Gea got an assist. That is pretty incredible. So, we have a few players that are going to be wanting to leave us now at the end of the season. One of them is Morgan Schneiderlin, as we can see here, who we didn't really play very much this season. So if you have a look at his information, it does say that pleased at being promised to be sold as soon as possible, expecting to leave the club in the near future, needs to leave for first team football. So, Schneiderlin is a player that we are going to have to try and get rid of. The reason he's asking to leave is just I never really played him very much. Let's have a look here. He made 21 appearances for us, but that was really only because I was forced to play him to keep him happy. 5 non-competitive. So he played, well, actually, continental games. He played 12 games in the league, is that 9 as a substitute, and 28 games overall and 9 as a substitute. He contributed 1 assist and no goals. He didn't have the best season for us, really, so I'm not really too concerned about letting him go, and I don't really want to be forced to try and keep him here. He's a first team member, so he's decent, but I'm not concerned about losing him. So Schneiderlin is one player that we've got to look at getting rid of. Now, Wayne Rooney. Let's have a look at your information. Is hoping to see some movement regarding being sold, thinks Marcus Rashford is right about harsh team talks, wants a new challenge, has achieved everything at the club. So that was it. Wayne Rooney felt that he had achieved everything at the club and he wants to leave. He says, looking forward to leaving the club, thinks Satan is a good player. So Rooney also wants to leave, and, well, again, to be perfectly honest, we've barely played him this season. He's got 3 assists, 4 goals, 1 man of the match, but only 15 appearances, unfortunately, and 17 in all competitions and 10 from a substitute. So, whilst it will be really sad to see Rooney go as kind of obviously a United legend, he had his testimonial at the beginning of the season. He's just... I would like to try and keep him as a coach, but I think he's made it clear that he believes he can continue to play somewhere, and I mean, his stats are still... Physically, yeah, he's not great anymore. He's got no jump reach, no pace. But I mean, mentally, pretty damn solid. And still technically, still good as well. Still got 14 passing, 15 finishing. So I mean, we possibly could have used him a little bit more, but I would rather kind of try and bring up a young player. So we need to look at moving Rooney off somewhere as well. Now I think... with Carrick, I think Carrick said he was actually going to retire at the end of this season. So let's take a look at his information. God, I can't stop myself shaking. It's so cold in here. Press speculation. Carrick is pleased with comments. Thinks Rooney is good. Would like more first team opportunities. Is willing to fight to regain his place. Plans to retire next month. No current concerns. So yeah, basically Carrick is going to retire. So once he does, I don't know, again, I would like to get him as a coach of some sort, if that's at all possible. Profile, player attributes. Let's see, I don't like looking at this screen. So, I mean, we probably should have used him a little bit more as well, but we just were never using him. It was always Herrera and Pogba. But mentally, my goodness, I never realised quite how insane he is, really. Positioning, teamwork, 18, decisions, 19, concentration, composure, 17, 18. Still got... Wow. I am sorry, Carrick, for overlooking you, veteran midfielder. Passing 18, technique, still 17, first touch 16. I mean, just absolutely diabolical physicals, but what do you expect for someone who's 35? So, yeah, so we're going to be losing Carrick at the end of the season as well. And, let's see, what about... So they're 3 definites. Sergio Romero also had a bit of a concern. He wanted... would like more first team opportunities, wants a chance in the first team. And I said that if he worked hard for the reserves and in training, I would give him a chance. So I think just basically next season I have to make sure I have more of a clear definition between the first team for the league and like cup games, and make sure that Romero is starting all of the FA Cup and EFL Cup games to keep him happy. besides that, I don't think anybody else has any concerns. Maybe Zlatan does. Staff attributes. Ooh, interesting. I mean, you're not something for the future. Anyway, let's look at information. No current concerns, delighted with training, retired from international duty. No, so yeah, he was concerned about overall playing, but that's because he's still on a key player for us, which if we have a look at our contracts, we have 4 key players, if I can just highlight these guys. So yeah, we've got De Gea, Pogba, Ibrahimovic and Mkhitaryan, all key players. So these are the guys that are probably going to cause us problems if they're missing a few games. But I don't really see that being a problem for De Gea or Pogba or Mkhitaryan, really. It's just for Zlatan, really, with the emergence of Marcus Rashford. But really, Rashford is still on a hot prospect. Although I need to sort out Rashford's contract. That is one thing that we do need to do. So I'll try and keep his squad status as low as possible, just purely for the fact to help make sure I can keep everybody in the team happy. But besides that, that's probably why Schneiderlin was complaining, because he's a first team guy. But pretty much everybody else who's first team is in our team. And these guys, Carrick wasn't complaining because he was rotation, that's fair enough. And kind of people like, I didn't realise Memphis was still on a rotation role, and all of these guys. So, especially Jones. If I can keep Jones on a rotation, because we're probably going to want, where's Bailly? There he is. Bailly and Smalling is our starting central defensive pair. If we just check our tactics very quickly, I think this is going to be our main formation going forward, our kind of best 11 really. Sure on the left, Bailly and Smalling in the middle, with Danilo on the right, De Gea in goal of course. Then Pogba and Herrera in the middle, Martial, Mata, Mkhitaryan and Ibrahimovic. Good argument could be made that obviously Rashford should probably be part of our best 11 as well, but we've still got time for Rashford. And then kind of for cup games, I think we're looking at then Rojo on the left, Jones and Smalling in the middle, and Darmian on the right with Romero in goal. Possibly Blind and Schneiderlin in midfield, thinking that probably Carrick's retiring and Schneiderlin we're going to get rid of. Depay on the left, Mayer in the middle, Lingard on the right, and then Rashford up front. Quite a young team, but I think this is what we'll try to use in our kind of cup games as our like second level squad kind of thing. I would like to try and use Depay a bit more, really. I mean, if we have a look at, what should we go to? Reports. If we have a look at our recommended, wow, Mayer actually sitting at the top with dribbling 17, first touch 18, technique 18. I mean, he's got some developing to do. He's only 21, anticipation. Like, he's not the best player at the moment. Definitely still one for a few years' time, but I'm encouraged by some of what I'm seeing here. Vision 15 off the ball. And who's next? So again, it's like, where is Depay? Where are you, Depay? There we go. So we've kind of got Martial and Depay, both for that left midfield position. And I don't know which one to play. Really, let's have a quick comparison between you and... where's Depay going to be? Memphis Depay, there we go. So Depay is slightly older, or old man. Neither of them can defend. Martial is slightly faster. Depay's got better vision. They've got the same attack, same technique, pretty much the same aerial and the same mentals. Like, they're almost the same player. So let's see. So Depay actually edges it on technical ability. Let's see. Much better crossing, much better free kicks, better first touch, better long shots. Oh, really? We've seen some pretty bad long shots from Depay this season so far. I'm not sure if I agree with that. Passing is better, so he's just kind of generally better overall, technically. However, mentally, despite being 2 years younger, Martial is actually better. Very similar stats. Much better decisions, not as good flair, but kind of much better there. And then physically, Martial has got the better pace and agility, same balance, slightly better jump reach. Not as much natural fitness, interestingly enough, from Anthony Martial there. But same pace and slightly lower strength and stamina, but 14 is still pretty great. So, I mean, so really, kind of Depay has got that extra 2 years experience in the technical side over Martial, but I favour Martial, but at the same time, I mean, it seems like a waste not to use Depay in certain situations. Where are you, Depay? It's pretty great. Where can you play? I need to get used to this new skin. Attacking midfielder left. Oh, over here. So you can play anywhere over that front line. So, anyway, we'll have to make a decision. We're definitely going to keep you, Memphis, but we need to decide exactly what to do. Who actually has the best ability? Pogba, then De Gea, Martial, Mkhitaryan, Bailly. Huh. You're not actually as good as I thought you were, Bailly. You're only 23, though. Tackling, strength. Who cares? You're going to be amazing. So, yeah, to be honest, let's just quickly go to our tactics. I'm pretty pleased with our team. Like, there's no real position that I'm like, oh God, we really need this person. Like, Shaw is going to be a great left back for a long time to come. We've got 3 great centre backs in Phil Jones, Chris Smalling, and Bailly. I would have usually considered selling Phil Jones, but they're playing so well. Kind of Smalling 7.3, Bailly 7.39, Phil Jones 7.31. So I don't really think we need any more central defenders, and we've got people like Blind and Rojo who can fill in centre back as well. Then we've got Danilo and Darmian on the right. Maybe we could get a slightly better right back than Danilo. Like, he's not great at anything. 15 tackling is pretty good. Off the ball 15. Work rate is good. He's got good pace, good physicals. Like, but for a wing back kind of position, this is what I find is kind of standard. Like, his mentals are solid everywhere, and he's been playing really well for us. 1 goal, 2 assists, 7.25 rating. Like, can't really complain about Danilo, to be honest. We paid 9.5 million for him. He's now worth 22 million. So, I mean, what are you going to do? And then, I mean, who could you ask for anyone better in midfield than Pogba and Herrera? No. Then we've also got Blind as backup for that as well. And Schweinsteiger. Maybe with Carrick and Schneidlin potentially leaving the club. Oh, spilling tea everywhere. We might want to look at some backup in that midfield area for those two. But I'm sure that we've probably got some youth candidates somewhere that we could possibly bring into the midfield as well. And like I said before, with our attacking midfielders here, we've got Depay to back up here. We've got kind of 2 people in every position. We can have Depay, Meyer and Lingard here. And then we've got Rashford here. Like, I don't think there's any real major signings that we really need to make. I feel if we try and bring in any other kind of Galactico signings, that it's just going to cause problems within the team in regards to trying to keep everybody happy with what their contracts say. So I don't know. If you really think that there's any particular player somewhere that could really benefit our team, perhaps we could swap formations slightly. Leave their names in the comments below and we'll take a look and see what it would do to bring them in and see if there's a place for them in our team. Because really, there's no one that I really feel like I want to sign. I'm pretty darn happy with this team as it is at the moment. The only thing that I would be interested in doing is looking at developing some of our younger players and trying to bring them up through the ranks. So if we go to reports here, let's see... Let's go the recommendations. Is this assistant manager's recommendations? Okay. We've still got Marcus Rashford down here. Why is this? Are you still listed as part of this team, or is that because you're a hot prospect? Move to under-21 side. Maybe that's just because of his age. I kind of want to take him out from this squad. Anyway, so we've got, well, there we go, Timothy Fosu-Mensah as a midfielder, defensive midfielder for us, can play anywhere up through the middle of the pitch. I mean, amazing physically at 19 years old, great strength there. I mean, he's not great, he's not going to be Premier League quality yet, but, I mean, there's some room for him to develop there. Who else have we got? Cameron Borthwick-Jackson, who's a central defender. He is going down! Oh my god. So yeah, definitely, after this video in the pre-season, I'm going to do a lot of training and making sure that all our young kids are where they need to be. Roshan Williams. This is another thing. Januzaj is going to be coming back to the club, and he has had a pretty great season on loan at Sunderland. 8 goals, 10 assists, 2 player of the matches, an average rating of 7.1. So we're going to have Januzaj coming back in the team as well, which can give more backup on pretty much anywhere, but I'm thinking maybe this right-hand side, competition for Mkhitaryan. Dribbling 16, crossing 14, like, again 22, but his technicals are pretty insane, and he's been having a great season. So he's going to be another really good option for us. Not good physically and still has a lot to do mentally, but I mean that should come. He's still only 22. If we give him some more games in our squad, that should be pretty good. So he's another one that we need to kind of look out for as well, coming back into the side. Then who else have you got? We got this youngster here, Bufanage, who I'm going to call him, who our kind of youth coaches seem to be pretty obsessed with, but I mean, just looking at his stats here, he's got 19 determination and he's super fast, but he's not got much else going for him right now, but he is only 18, so I mean, we've got some potential here that we can draw from to give us some extra cover in the future. Who actually has the most ability right now? We've got Lingard as well, Fosu-Mensah. Got people like James Wilson, striker. It's not bad, he's 21. So we have a few options. But let's just see. I tried to make some signings in the... That's Rudy Romero showing up down here. During the youth intake season to get us some decent players. So we spent a bit of our money there that you guys didn't see on camera. So we picked up, I think... Did I buy you? I can't remember. But I think this guy actually came through our own. He's only 16. Dribbling, first touch, passing. Like, we have some pretty nice youngsters here. Are you on loan somewhere? On loan at Millwall at the moment. With 17 years old. Some pretty decent potential here. So I'm going to spend a lot of time trying to bring these people in. Talking about transfers, who did come in? Okay. We can have a look at... They're probably all young kids that I brought in. So again, who's this? Yeah, a 16-year-old left back here. Teamwork 18, bravery between there. I mean, there's a few kids we've got in. Let's have a look. Henry Baxter, 16-year-old, bravery, close to 18. Teamwork 16. Not bad. Not bad at all. Who else have we got here? Danny Bruce, passing, teamwork, balance, natural fitness. Like, we've got some potential in some of these young guys coming into the club here. Got Nick Carter. There was a few amazing people at kind of the youth clubs of like Arsenal and Chelsea and Man City, but I set them as transfer targets, but we just haven't been able to get them so far. They just refused to come to the club. But I tried to bring in some of the best youth guys that I could find and that I could see that would kind of give our youth some potential. This guy's got 16 flair, 12 determination. Not bad stats there. I'm sure I can find some better ones. But yeah, I think we've got some promise coming into our youth squad. Lee Dixon! He wasn't very good, but he was called Lee Dixon, so I needed to sign him because he's called Lee Dixon. Let's see, Danny Dennis. Again, I think these guys have some potential to be good players for us. people like this, Danny Hamilton, I knew there was some decent ones. Determination 16 to 20, flair 14 to 17, natural fitness is decent, got some pace, crossing, free kicks, first touch. For an attacking midfielder, I think he's got some potential to really kind of add something to our youth team and B1s for the future. We've got Dave Highland here as well. 12, 14. He's got some mentals for a 16-year-old. So, who else is coming in? And Joel Smart. Again, got some sensible mentals and some nice physicals again for a 16-year-old fullback. So, tried to plan for the future in some of our signings that are coming in. Who's gone now? Nobody. And there are a few other ones. I don't know if I can bring up my transfer targets. Here we go. As you can see, failed. Lots of just all youth team players, really. Who was one of the... Oh, Sean Killer was one of the guys that I really wanted to try and bring in. I think he was a striker. Oh no, he's a winger. But he's got some potential and was doing well. Who was the other one that I really liked the look of? Cannot remember. Ryan Sessignon pretty good, I seem to remember. Yeah, I've got some decent skills. But anyway, so yeah, I think I'm going to focus on trying to bring in some younger players to fill up the youth squads to kind of give us some extra players for the future. But yeah, I don't know if there's anything else that I need to really say in this video. Like I said, if you have any suggestions or recommendations for players or different tactics or training, actually, because I found that this season we've had a lot of injuries, which has been a little bit disappointing. As you can see here, Mata has had 4 injuries, Ibrahimovic has had 4 injuries, Rooney has had some big... We've had some really big injuries. Shaw has had 3, Martial's had 2. So we've had people out for a long time. So if there's something that I am doing in the training and the way I've got it set up, and you have any suggestions on how I can possibly minimise these injuries, because especially when people like Mata have got injured, it's kind of really harmed us, and we need to keep those guys going as well as we can. So if you have any training suggestions for me, that would be greatly appreciated. But yeah, I think that's done. I think we've had a pretty great season, to be honest. We've won the league, we won the Euro Cup, we were runners-up in the FA Cup, and we won the Community Shield. We got knocked out pretty early on in the EFL Cup. But all in all, I think we have had a pretty great season. So I'm going to go off and arrange some training schedules for all of these young kids that we've brought in and do the pre-season. We have a pre-season tour of America scheduled now, I believe, during our pre-season. And then, yeah, see where it goes from there. So, yeah, any suggestions for next season, recommendations, comments, or whatever you want, throw them in the comments below. It would be great to hear what you think. Any suggestions regarding anything of this series. And we'll be back sometime soon in the new year, after Christmas, whenever this video decides to go up. And I'll see you then. Thank you very much for watching. We've been Awful Commentary.